Hello everybody and welcome back to the TakJak Handicapping Corner. This week we are headed over to Aqueduct for race 8. It is the Queens County Stakes, which is $125,000, ran over a mile and an eighth. And just to get right to it, in this race I'm going to be taking the 4 Major Cabbie. In his most recent start, this horse ran in the Clark Stakes, which is arguably the biggest race anybody in this field has ever ran in, and was no slouch in that race, getting 5th, but competing against world-class horses and putting up a 105 speed figure is really nothing to complain about. Before that, this horse had ran twice in October, winning both of those races easily. They were $100,000 optional claiming races, ran over at Keeneland, and this horse took them both wire to wire, winning by 9 and 3 lengths respectively, with near 110 speed figures both times. I think those numbers are world class, and no one here is going to be able to touch it. I think you could pick Major Cabbie up right now and put him into a lot of graded stakes, and he would do just fine. So I think this week's ungraded Queens County Stakes should be a wire-to-wire victory for him, and at the very least, he will make a big impact on this race. So again, my selection is the 4 Major Cabbie here. Now that we got our winner, obviously we're going to be trying to round out our ticket with some horses to use underneath. And for this, I'm going to be looking for consistency, and I'm going to be finding that over in the 1, Roaming Union. This horse has hit the board in 6 of 8 starts this year, has ran in some world-class races such as the Haskell in years past, has shown potential to be a great horse, and very consistently is finding 100 or 100 plus speed figures. Has had about a 2-month layoff coming into this race, which makes me a little nervous that Roaming Union isn't going to be on his best game here. So I don't think he's going to be able to win. But the consistency he's shown in 2019, finding the podium in 6 of 8 starts, I think this week should turn out just about the same for him. And I expect him to find a spot in either 2nd or 3rd and ride it home here. Honestly, the most interesting horse in the race here could be the 2, Stan the Man. Now, this horse is a graded stakes horse. The owners, the connection, have decided that this horse is a graded stakes horse, and the horse has decided that this horse is a graded stakes horse. In his last 2 starts, he ran in the True North Stakes, which is a grade 2, as well as the Westchester Stakes, which is a grade 3, finishing 5th and 2nd respectively. Before that, he was dominating allowance optional claiming classes and running in races such as the Cigar Mile and competing in it. This horse has shown that it will consistently beat allowance optional claiming competition, putting up 110 speed figures both times in 2019 running against such competition. And has just separated himself from horses like this. Now, all that sounds like we got ourselves a guaranteed winner until we look at the layoff here. This horse has not ran in 6 months. 6 months, that means there's only a couple things that could be going on with this horse. It wants to be running on the turf, and we're running out of turf races. Not happening. Or this horse had an injury it needed to overcome. Now, if this horse comes back 100%, it's going to blow the rest of the field away. It should win easily, and I'll look like an idiot. But not often do you see a horse coming back to full force first time back. I think it's going to take at least 1 race for Stan the Man to get back to his usual self. And I think he'll even be a little surprised with where he's at physically once he gets into this race running against other competition. For this reason, I'm going to have to be including him in my ticket on the underside, but I can't have him to win. I just don't think he's going to be able to edge out other horses like the 4 and even the 1. But just from what this horse has done in the past, I think it's impossible to leave it off my... So real quick, I just wanted to touch on another couple horses that I won't be including in my betting ticket. So the first one is the 5, Backside of the Moon. This horse has a hard time gearing it up to get to 100 or 100 plus speed figures. It's trying to make a step up in class today, and its most recent win was in a field of 4. For all these reasons, I think it's going to be a tough ask to have Backside of the Moon get up and make an impact on this race. Moving on to the 6, Bon Raison. This horse gets smoked whenever he runs against competition that isn't allowance optional claiming. For this, I'm going to have to leave him off. We're asking him to take the first step up to stakes competition today, and I think it's a big ask for him. And finally, the last horse I want to touch on is Adventist. This horse was wildly impressive in the Greenwood Cup, running in the slop. Won that race 50-1 after coming flying through the turn like Secretariat, beating the two odds-on favorites very impressively. So if it rains here, I'm going to be including the 3 Adventist on my ticket, just for the fact that in the Greenwood Cup, this horse was able to absolutely run away with it in the rain in some of the most impressive fashion possible. Alright guys, and all that leaves us with is how we're going to bet it this week. So for my official $100 wager, I'm going to be laying down a $20 win place on the 4 with a $20 exacta box 1-2-4 to back that up. And that's how I'm going to be attacking it this week. I hope to see you guys playing along with me. Be sure to tune in next week for another TakJak Corner. I'll see you guys soon. Everybody be safe.